Hi, this is Param. Uh, in this playlist, actually, this is separate playlist going to be okay. So we will see what is equal, EQL. That means even query language. Okay. So it's a separate. It's alternative. You can say it's not complement to other. Okay. It's alternative. Query syntax. Okay. So as I told in some of many videos. Okay. The Elasticsearch team tried their best, okay, their best to provide more user familiar syntax for the querying. Okay, the most complex stuff is of course JSON structure. Okay, but beyond that they have tried many options. Okay, many options. Even as yesterday, I mean in early videos we have seen like query string, the simple query string, all the stuff. Okay, all the how they attempt to provide more user friendly query syntax. Okay, similarly in that same way the equal is defined. Elastic query language has been defined. So of course this equal is mostly used for security related items. Okay, so equal is mostly used for security related use cases. Okay, that is first information. Second thing is what is now it write, of course it read, okay, it read the information from the both in as a data stream, but most of the times it's a data stream only. Okay, but sometimes can be index also. Okay. Okay, what could be the use cases? Okay, I mean what kind of logs can be read? Okay, it could be a logs, trace. Trace means it's APM, from APM, right? So basically what is now equal can where we can apply now, it can be applied in the time series data. Okay, we can search on the time series data. So obviously log, APM trace, matrix, all the time series based. Okay. So okay, so in that we can use equal. So as I told you, it's an alternative approach, or it is alternative approach to query the data from these indexes. Okay, from these indexes or from this type of data. Okay, so it's alternative syntax, but still you can stick with your DSL itself. Okay, query DSL is different from the equal is different. Okay, very clear. Query DSL is different and the equal is different. Equal is for even query language. Okay, so what's to run the equal, I mean, okay, Elastic query language, the corresponding index or data streams, okay, has to follow two things. Okay, one is timestamp has to be there. Okay, or at timestamp by default it expect. Okay, or else any date field we have to define in the querying time itself. Okay, and the category types. Okay, category field usually event category is used. Okay, event category. Okay, so obviously these two columns is necessary. Okay, these two columns is mandatory to run equal query into the Elasticsearch. Okay, okay. Then of course, as I said, it's good for security kind of monitoring, SIAM monitoring. Okay, I would say it is good for SIAM monitoring. So obviously the SIAM monitoring, maybe these two fields will be comes by default. Okay, okay. Now so we have to see some of the samples, right? Okay, let me open my no, okay, let me open my Postman. Okay, while opening that, let me cover the other topics. Okay, so it is good for this area. Okay, it's good for, okay, I think I have covered all these steps. Okay. So yeah, okay, there is one more approach, there is one more benefit, I would say it's a benefit. Okay, so what is that? It is correlation among the events. Actually it is not correlations, I can say like all the related events one after another in the sequence. Okay, in the sequence we can identify. Okay, in the sequence set of events are one after another, then that sequence we can identify. That's what they are saying, related events. Okay. Okay, of course, it's a correlation. So since it's mostly support the security based SIAM data, so obviously already they have implemented SIAM. Okay, SIAM correlation already they have implemented in the SIAM data as well as log series data. Okay, so that's what. Okay, so it on the correlation side, they are for correlating among the events, they are using equal Elastic query language. Okay. Of course, since this is introduction about the introduction about the EQL, I am going to explain these stuff only. So okay, So let me show you some of the samples, okay, how that query is there. Okay, I think I have opened my things, still coming here. Okay, no problem. Let me close it and reopen it. This time it should work. Okay, it's opening, kind of bit slow, bear with me. Good. Let me close all tab. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the samples. This is a syntax. Okay, there will be query, of course. Where is the body? Yeah, this is a very simple elastic query language. Event query language. Okay, so we will be writing query within the triple code. Okay, so obviously I cannot run from this postman. So I have tested all the queries in the Kibana dev tool only. Okay, so because of this syntax does not support in the postman. This syntax support only in the Kibana dev tool. Okay, so here is process is the one of the object. So within that we are checking where process name equal to this one. So obviously I will get the those events from this data streams. Okay, from this data streams. Okay, this is a very simple elastic query language. Sorry, event query language. You know, this is alternative syntax. Here we are saying the field name. Okay, of course it's var class. Okay, so of course we are providing the what is a var class would match. So this is the one sample. Okay, very minimal query, and here we can see that this is size based. Okay, I think I have to do, yeah, size. We can give size as well. So, okay, how many document I want, and it has to be retrieved for me. Okay, it may be 10 document, that's fine, but I just only give me just 50 documents. Okay, one more thing, there is no scoring at all. Okay, till now I have till now I have explored, there is no scoring at all in this one. Okay, then sequence. What is my sequence? What is now? We can execute two query. Okay, here we can execute two queries. This is called, they call as a sequence. See the syntax. Okay, it's again it is nested within the triple quote. Sequence is a keyword. Here 1 and 2. Okay, two queries are there. So what is now? It will return the document. The process name is simple.text, and the file name is what is the scroll of DLL. So how it will return? So first document from this one, second document from this one. So when whatever in this order, whatever the events are there, it will give it to me. Let me repeat. So it will give minimum 2 event. Okay, because I have given 2 things. Okay, so minimum 2 event is there. So first event process name should be like this, simple.txt, and the second event file name should be scroll something .dll. This is what they say sequence. So wherever these two objects are in the sequence, or these two documents in the sequence, those documents only retrieved. See, that is what they are saying, correlation in the sequence. Okay, then here, yeah, we can say, see, in the previous query, the sequence that we don't say any expire, so it can go till the end. Okay, till all the data, right? But we can say you just try with only the last 1 hour. Okay, so if it is a query DSL, we will be giving the range query, right? If it is query DSL, we will be range within that. We will put like timestamp, then less than or greater than something. We will give that, right? But here this is a syntax. Okay, a sequence with max span. So what is now last 1 hour or last 2 hours, something like that. Okay, so within that you just take last 1 hour data. Then within that it should be like this. Okay, the first document should be symbol.txt, and second document should be scroll.dll. Okay, this is if any of the sequence is there, then that sequence I will get in the response. That is what. So that's how it help in the correlations. Okay, that's how it help in the correlations. Okay. Here next, okay, of course you can do the by id, okay, by grouping. Okay, So here you can see again it's last 1 hour data. Okay, it should be like okay. So we are checking this attribute in the each document, and group by process ID. Okay, it's group by process ID. So we will get separate field. Okay, I'll tell you the exact field name. Okay, where I have seen yeah. Okay. We will get separate process ID. Okay, yeah. So there will be like, see, it's kind of aggregation. Okay, it's kind of aggregation. See, we got this many, these are the documents we got, then those documents grouped by this process ID. Assume that in these both sequences grouped by process ID, then we can give this common here itself. Okay, that is what I want to see here. Here by process ID, so the syntax is changed, but the still effect is same. Okay, so it will take last 1 hour data. Okay, within that it will check for this kind of sequence. Okay, if it is there, it will group by all the document by ID, process ID. Okay. Okay, so that's what I in the beginning it's like I told, it's an alternative. It is not complement to the query DSL. Okay, query DSL is different. Event query language is different. Okay, it's a new syntax, a separate syntax. Okay, it is especially useful for correlation, obviously for time series data, but still we can try. Okay, we can try. It's up to it's a personal preference. As long as you are getting your response, okay, then you can write in the query DSL itself or elastic query language, whatever it's up to you. Okay. Okay, yeah. Here what is now here, say in the last we said like maximum 1 hour records. Okay, within the 1 hour records, how many things I have to go, instead of saying number. Okay, I can say like, hey, you get me document once until you see event type is termination. Once you see the event type termination, then don't search anything further to that event or document. Okay, so that's what you can say. Okay, why say it will be scanning, right? It will be scanning, collecting the document, right? But where it will stop. Okay, whenever it sees a termination, then I don't want it unnecessarily. I don't want to go there beyond to that. So it's based on my use case. But until is a keyword here, like sequence. Okay, like sequence by something. Similarly with, okay, these are a keyword. Okay, so similar, this is a very good. I would say it's a really very good one. Okay, why it's not there? Close it. Okay, cool. Then I don't need here. Okay, yeah, good. So what is now? This is a sequence. Okay, it will check for this sequence of records within the last 1 hour span. Okay, then it will keep on. Let's say without this, I may get 50 documents. Okay, by this see these terminations, maybe I will get only 20 documents or 10 documents something. Okay, so maybe the termination, by seeing termination event, it will stop the scanning. Similarly, okay, filter path. I'll tell you what is filter path. Okay, let me save the stuff. Let me close all. Okay, filter path. So filter path is common, right? So of course in the response for every document, which field we are interested, okay, or which tree path, which path of the element you are interested in the JSON, in the response JSON. That is what we will be saying in the request path, right? So we can say more than one by comma separated. Like here, see here we are saying only these two I want. So one more thing I want, I forgot to tell you. See, if it is normal DSL query, we will get hits as array. Okay, here hits dot event is array. Okay, here hits dot event, not hits itself. If it is a query DSL, you will get one more hits. Okay, that is how it differ. Obviously, unfortunately, what is, I cannot execute this query straight away from here, but I execute all this query in the Kibana dev tool only because of the syntax. So it is this is a one reason. Okay, even I want not it. This is a one reason, so we have to go for, we have to depend on the what is it, query sorry, Kibana dev tool. Okay. Equal query can be run within Kibana dev tool only. Okay. So this is another restriction. In fact, already with respect to that, with respect to the index, these two field must be there at the timestamp. Even that category must be there. Otherwise, we have to tell explicitly. Okay, but by default it will expect. And similarly, if we can test the equal query only in the Kibana only, not from the what is that? Not from the Postman. Okay. Then, okay, here. Again, so it support the fields. Okay, that's what this fields. What we will say, see whatever the columns we want from the source, instead of a complete document, I want to only select. We call it a projection in our RDBMS, right? So only the selected columns it will be returned. Similarly, here also we can specify. Okay, what is the column name? Of course, you can see that field support the multi pattern. Okay, or regular expressions. Okay, it's not regular expression. It's support the patterns. Okay, but one thing pattern is not supported by the normal field in query DSL field. Okay, I remember in query DSL field fields array does not support the this kind of pattern, but fields within the DSL. Okay, sorry EQL, okay, EQL support the wildcard patterns, okay, and of course we can specify the field and formatters, okay. This is the field name I want it in this format, okay. So that's how we can do selective also as well, okay. And then what is there here? Okay, yes. Then I can use runtime mapping as well. Field I can use, okay. Similarly, runtime mapping also I can use. If it's runtime mapping, obviously this has field I must use. Okay, if it is runtime mapping is there, obviously I must use a field. Okay, that is the default one. Okay, then what is the beauty of it? It support the runtime mapping as well. Which one equal? So see, you can understand the API itself, right? If it's query DSL, it will like underscore search. Okay, but since it is equal, it start like underscore EQL, the query path itself, or API path itself. Okay. Then yeah, this is what, as I told you, okay, there are two columns I told you na. So two column has to be mandatory in the corresponding data stream or index. Okay, if you want, it gives separate custom timestamp field, custom category event category field. You can give by this keyword, by this column, by these parameters. But unfortunately, it didn't work for me. I tried, but it didn't work for me. It's a tiebreaker, yeah. So tiebreaker, you know, I'll tell you. By default, okay, that there can be more than one document. There can be more than one document in the same time. Okay, same timestamp. With the same timestamp, more than one document may be there. Okay, so in that case, which document it will take? Okay, so that's question, right? So okay, that times you can say like you can give the tiebreaker field. Say here event.sequence. Okay, by default it will expect event.sequence. Okay, it will expect yes. I think yeah, I remember now. Okay, I remember even actually some of the times in some of the use case. Okay, we used metric beat, file beat, and all. These are all by default they put sequence field. Okay, but unfortunately I don't want. I removed that. Now I understand that purpose of the sequence attribute. Okay, good, really good. Okay, yeah. So tiebreaker should be sequence. Sequence by default it will be ascending. It will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that, right? Then what will happen? When more than one document the same time span, then obviously it will take the most recent document. So number based on the number. So sequence number maybe 1, 2, 3. So it will take fourth column, fourth records or third record, whichever the maximum value. Okay, which document has sequence as a maximum value, that document will be returned. That is where tiebreaker field is used. But if you want something else, you can specify. Let's say you remember employee ID or something, role ID or some created something. Okay, so whatever the ID if you want, you can give that particular column. So this is the even tiebreaker field when you have to give of course, yeah, that's what. So more than one document comes in the same timestamp. Then among 3 or 4, obviously 3 to 4 maybe for example I'm saying if it is 3 to 4 are coming in the same timestamp, then among these 3 which one has to be taken? That is where tiebreaker field is play the role. Okay, then I think filter, yes sir, it supports the filter. Okay, you can reuse the filter of DSL. Okay, so this is a filter normal DSL, right? But it will be like within the boolean. Okay, here it can be parallel to the query. Okay, so yes. equal support the filter of query DSL. You can use that as okay. Then store. By default, what is it execute in the synchronous. Very simple. By default, equal queries are executed in the synchronous. If you want to store synchronous result, then you can store that. I think this kind of facility is not available in query DSL. Yeah, storing the response is not available in query DSL. Till now I have not seen such a query. Okay, but that is available here. If you want to store for some times, or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something, or for some days, okay, then you can store the synchronous data. But there we have to give the keep on completion. That is true. Keep on completion true. That means you save the response. But how long? That is what I will tell you. Okay, keep alive. Okay, something keep alive query is there, right? Not this one. Or is it this get body is there? Wait for completion, that is fine. I tell you about synchronize. Okay, keep on wait something. Yeah, keep alive. Yeah, here. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay, so how long you want to be? You want to save? You want to store your synchronized response. Okay, synchronized response. Then that will be defined. Keep alive. Okay. Okay. Now we can talk about the asynchronous. Fortunately, equal query support asynchronous query as well. Okay, so let's say the query is taking long times, we don't want to wait. By default synchronous, but if you want to synchronize asynchronous, you can achieve that using that by giving this field wait for completion timeout for 2 seconds. So if I give like this, what will happen? The Elasticsearch will query the data, okay, and if it is beyond 2 seconds, then what will it happen? It will say the response. Some record is also there. So obviously it will give the search ID to me. The search is some kind of very junk value, very lengthy junk value. Okay, that using the search ID, it will be given. Then it is partial or is complete. All this something true, such a false, something. Okay. So obviously what will happen? This is how you can execute asynchronous. I can say only for 2 seconds. If it is go beyond 2 seconds, you have to give me the partial result to me and along with the search ID. So if once I give the search ID, I can get value here, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. By saying this, it is asynchronous query. By saying this, how many days you have to store? Obviously, what is all the asynchronous results are stored by default stored. Okay, by default stored 5 days. After 5 days, it will get deleted automatically. Okay, but if I want to reduce or if I want to do customize value, so I can give the keep value 2 days something. Of course, this wait for completion, it will say like it is for asynchronous query. Okay, if you want to get the record, you can get the same query. No, I think we will give only the query ID. Okay, query ID. So let's say this is search ID. Okay, yeah. By this search, 1 second. Let me double check. Okay, where is asynchronous? Search status different. Okay, this is how it will say different. Elastic update retention period. Here what is now? Here we are changing the update on the retention period. Okay, earlier we have given 2 days. Now we are giving 5 days. So that's how we can update the retention period using keep value. That's fine. Okay, by saying this is asynchronous. Okay, and we are not retrieving. We are status different. Okay, we are just retrieving the data. Okay, second chunk. Okay, we are retrieving the data. Next batch of data. Okay, using this equal search. That's it. After that, we have to give the ID. Okay, ID of search, previous asynchronous search. But if you want to get the status of that one, you can query that using the query status. Okay, that time you don't need to give all this stuff. Okay, just a status na. Okay, so you can give like equal search then status here. Okay, and end with your id. So you can say like whether it's still partial or still is completed. By in the response you can see is partial true, is running true na, then obviously it has completed. That's what the data are already there. That's what. Then you can get the data by the id. Okay, you can get the data by id. Okay, okay, then finally you can delete. Okay, finally you can delete your asynchronous search, or it can be synchronous search also if you ask it explicitly stored. Okay, that can be deleted. So by deleting that you are reclaiming your storage space. Okay, okay, I think these are stuff. Okay, I want to tell you. Okay, it is size covered, sequence covered, max span covered, by fields. Okay, runtime mappings, custom I covered, tiebreaker field I covered. Okay, filter I covered, asynchronous search covered, save. Okay, class cluster I'll tell you. Okay, so equal, using equal we can query on the across the more than one cluster. Okay, so obviously if it is more than one cluster, what we have to save with those remote cluster in the cluster settings API. Okay, then we have to prefix in by default, instead of giving only index name or alias name, we have to prefix that what is the cluster name, then colon, then remote cluster, remote index name. Okay, that's how we will be giving, right? So you have to configure your cross cluster, then of course equal you can run the query in the remote cluster as well. Okay, or cross cluster as well. Okay, then circuit breaker configuration. Yeah, circuit breaker configuration play a very important role in this perspective. Okay, I'll tell you why. Okay, since it's a sequence, right? They are running sequence. They are giving until something. Okay, they are giving as long as you are giving the size, that's well and good. Okay, but even sometimes we are checking for we are retrieving for sequence graph data. Okay, so what will happen now? It may be occupied more memory. Okay, it may be occupied more memory, then that times. Okay, then that times you will get out of memory error. Then if it is goes for out of memory, then obviously that node will lost, right? So that is where circuit breaker configuration will save us. Instead of losing our node, okay, it will simply cancel that execution, or it will abandon that current executions. Okay, so for the breaker there are three configuration. Okay, how many sequence can be executed. Okay, how long, I mean what is the memory size you can utilize for sequencing. Okay, that's kind of by default 50%. Okay, and similarly okay, how much memory has to be allocated, and how many sequence query can be allocated. Sorry, how many sequence query can be executed by default? By default, obviously one. Okay, right? Okay, then okay, then all the sequences are used only in the memory only, not as disk or something else. Okay. Okay, as of now they are supporting only memory level. Okay, so if it is memory configurations is reached beyond the threshold level, then it will execute. It will throw a circuit breaker exception and cancel that request. That's it. As abandon that request processing. Okay, but it will not stop. It will not leave the event. Node goes down. Okay, that to avoid the node goes down for the problems. Okay, for any problems. Okay, that is where circuit breaker configuration comes. Okay, so that's all about the introduction about the equal. As I told you in the beginning itself, it's up to you. Okay, it's up to you. But if you are looking for the correlation in your document, then you must be familiar with equal. I am very sure. Okay, if you are looking for, if you are working for correlation, you must be familiar with the equal event query language. You must be familiar with. Okay, without that you cannot work on that. Okay, but that is one mandatory case for equal. Second case, if you want to store your data, okay, if you want to store your search response something for sometimes or 1 day, 2 days, something like that. Okay, then again equal is only options. Okay, but otherwise it's alternative, I would say. Otherwise it's alternative to the query DSL. Whatever the things are, but of course, yeah, it expect two columns in the index. Okay, or at least custom specified. Okay, we can specify custom. Okay. Okay, it will expect the custom specified event, so it has to be there. Okay, it has to be there, of course, but one thing very clear. Okay, even what is now it expect the default column name here, and it expect default column name here. Okay, what is the tiebreaker field? Okay, rest of things are same. Rest of things are different. Okay, 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 okay. These are specific to ES only. These are specific to EQL only. Okay. So I think that's all about the introduction. That's all about introduction about the event query language EQL. So obviously EQL is only option to check correlation. For to check the correlation, some of the column has to be there, or at least has to be configured explicitly. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, leave your comment, like my videos, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.